quote about today being the present and that therefore is a gift, I always kind of snarled at that. I was like, oh, so cliche. Oh my gosh. If I hear that one more time, but I'll tell you what, this past week when I was in Houston taking classes and I was starting my class time at 8:30 in the morning and ending at 8:30 at night, that was my greatest challenge. So the first day I got there, Sunday, I had a nighttime class, so the 12-hour schedule didn't start until Monday. And I think I was just kind of getting in there and figuring it all out and feeling out the schedule, but by Tuesday morning, I was feeling more than just a pinch about that schedule. And I woke up thinking, I got 12 long hours. It didn't matter that there was a 2-hour break between the third class and the fourth class, and there was lunchtime, an hour and a half. All I could think about was a 12-hour day. I have really created a life for myself that's comfortable. I love mornings. I get up really early. I'm up at about 4:30 or 5. I open my eyes. I wake up slowly. I have my meditation, my prayer time. I work out. I eat breakfast slowly. I try not to have appointments in the morning. And if I do, I try to only have one. But my mornings are my time. And last week, that was not possible. I was getting up at 5:30. I still wanted to work out because I realized I was going to be sitting on my rear a lot. So I got up and I worked out, and it was just like this. Eat breakfast, read some more, do some homework, go to class, sit in class, have a break, maybe 10, 15 minutes, navigate to the next class, sit for another 2 hours, then you got lunch. Lunch sometime was running errands, maybe get some food so you could have something in the hotel room so you weren't always having to go someplace to eat because there wasn't time. On to the third class, books all over the place, notebooks, people. I'm not used to having people all the time everywhere, and there were probably 60, 70 people there, and it was just like this. And by Tuesday morning, I'm thinking, oh, this isn't going to be pretty the rest of the week. So this adage about the present just came up for me. Tuesday morning, I had to take a breath, sit on the edge of the bed, and I said, I'm going to have to focus on the now, be in the moment, or I'm going to get in the car and drive home Tuesday afternoon. Because I'm having an inner tantrum. I had a roommate, so there was no quiet. And I love her. She and I are very, very great friends, and we did room well together. But I need time and space, especially with so many demands. And so I had to navigate all of those stressors, all of those moments, all of the stuff to do, all of the information. So Tuesday morning at about 6:30, I said, I got to make a decision right here and now. I can either choose to be crazy and stressed out about this day every day, because it was going to be like that through Thursday. Friday, the schedule was a little different. And so I said, I'll focus on the now. Focus on the now. One class at a time. Nothing else matters. Only the information in front of me. Only the teacher in front of me. Only the people in the room. And slowly the day got more peaceful. Just chilled out. I didn't think about what to do. I didn't think about what to eat. I didn't think about who I was going to see. I didn't think about what was required. I forgot about whether or not I had time to do the homework. There was a lot of reading to do. And if you're going to sleep and eat, there was no way you could do all the homework and take 4 classes. And I am very much a follow directions girl. Always have been. Raised that way, get it done. So when I can't get done what's required, my brain starts to have problems with that. My stress starts to build up. And I just had to let it go. Just let it go and be present. Let it go and be present. I probably said that to myself 1,000,000 times in 6 days through that schedule. Let it go, be present. Be here right now with these people, with that teacher, instead of wishing I was somewhere else. Instead of wishing the day was different. Instead of wishing there weren't so many people in the room. I had an encounter, there was a myriad of personalities there. Always, we got 50, 60 people. So in one of my classes, there was a woman there, always perky, always up, always up. She always had a lot, her volume was always up here. And she had a really hard Southern twang. So Wednesday morning, I'm signing in into my first class, and I got my mantra, just let it go. Be present, be peaceful. Here I am, oh yes, everything's good. I'm good, I'm peaceful, I'm here. And she walks into the room, and she starts singing, good morning to you, good morning. And she's right here in my space. And I thought, just let it go. Be here. Just appreciate her for who she is. Appreciate this moment. It is the gift I have. And she continued the whole song. And she said, how are you? I said, I'm fine. Thank you. And I'm still thinking, let it go. Be peaceful. Let it go. Be peaceful. I'm good. One class. One classmate at a time. One classmate at a time. And it worked because on a different day, with a different mindset, that could have gone sideways. About the second verse of that song. That really could have gone sideways. And Unity of Houston would have had a restraining order on me. So it was moments like that that threaten to take you away from the now, or to take you in the now to something you don't want to be or express. That you just have to continue to be there. And I had to ask myself the question, who do I want to be in this moment? What do I want this moment to be? Can I be with my singing classmate peacefully, even though she was up here? And I was able to be with her. And I knew I was going to see her every day for 5 days. And she was like that every day, 5 days. Still happy and still singing. And I'm happy in the morning. I'm not Ethel Merman in the morning singing and running around. That's you. Yes. It is a test for those of us who, yes, want something different. So in the now, and it's interesting that once I chilled out and stayed in the now, it's true that every single class became a gift. I was sharing with Linda and Barbara earlier that some of these classes were very heavy, a lot of information. We went through the Hebrew scriptures, the Old Testament, in 5 days. Rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire. And even that class opened my heart, and I made connections with people that I would not have been able to make if I had not been in the moment. All of us, by the end of those 5 days, we were hugging each other goodbye. People had tears in their eyes. I had moments in classes that I just I could not have even fathomed that could happen in a class. When you're just there to get credit, you're busy taking notes, you're getting all this information, handouts all over the place, and still, in all of those moments, there was something special about all of it. And I would have missed it if I was wishing I was home, or wishing that I was back in the hotel room, or wishing that it was over, or wishing some of those people weren't in front of me, or telling myself that I don't feel like peopling today. Because my introvert side often just wants to be alone for long periods. There was none of that whole week. But in those moments when I decided to slow down and just enjoy what was in front of me, there was peace in all of the fray, all of the activity. Perhaps it was glancing out the window. Perhaps it was just taking another deep breath. Perhaps it was getting some insight about some bit of information that was relayed to me, but that all of a sudden touched me somewhere in my heart space. I don't think it would have happened if I was overly concerned with all the activity. One day we ended up with an assignment. The gentleman who was singing in that second song, Michael Gott, is the senior minister at Unity of Houston, and I had a class with him. So Houston's, the weather there was just fantastic. No more than 85 degrees, no humidity. The folks in Houston just thought maybe Armageddon was coming because this was just so unusual for them. No humidity, just wonderful. 70 degrees in the morning with a breeze. And they were all walking around like, what has happened? This doesn't happen in July here. So one day our teacher had us go out and we had to commune with nature and find something in nature that spoke to us. Yes, I had an eye roll. I was like, oh gosh, really? Do I have to talk to a tree or something? I don't do that. Yes, there was hugging of trees happening. So as soon as he said that, I went, oh, all right, so now I got to go outside, commune with nature. So I had to bring the mantra back, let it go, be in the moment, see what happens, just be here. Just do what he asks. Don't wish it away. And so I ventured outside, I walked. I do have a thing for trees. In every single room of my house, there's a picture or some kind of artwork, something depicting a tree in my house. I love trees. They have a lot of meaning for me. But I draw the line at hugging. It's just me. I know people do. Yes. I love that you love that. If that's your day. Not mine. So you venture out, they have a lot of, it's just beautiful there. The campus is just beautiful. So I'm wandering around saying to myself, all right, find your place. Where's your moment in nature here? What's going to happen? Keep your eyes open. Be here in the moment. So I wandered out, and they have the water features in a number of different places there. So I wandered out close to their main sanctuary, and they had these huge trees, and I ended up being drawn to one. Yes, I was drawn there, and I sat beneath the tree, and I just sat there, and I'm still kind of got my snarky self is kind of talking to me. Oh, I gotta commune with nature. What is this? And so I sat there, and I just started to breathe deeply. Be in the moment. See what happens. Don't wish this away. And I looked up the trunk of the tree to the branches reaching out. And on the tree, it looked like there was the little letter A. My last name is Andrews. And all of a sudden, I hear this message that says, I am mighty and and deeply rooted. And the tears started. I had a woo-woo moment with a tree. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking about my father. That statement I heard was in his voice. And there's the initial A, our last name, Andrews, written in the tree for me. This was Foundations of Unity. That was the name of the class. I would have missed that entire experience in a flash of a moment when that message came to me. I'd have missed it all if I had been wishing it away, wishing I was somewhere else, and wishing I didn't have to commune with nature. I allowed my snarky self to go away, and my heart was open under that tree. A moment in time in a class. All of a sudden, it was no longer about getting class credit. All of a sudden, it wasn't just about the curriculum. All of a sudden, it wasn't just about getting through the day. And me, Miss Non-Woo-Woo, is crying under the tree. Being present. And as cliche and as corny as it sounds, it was a present. It was a gift. It kept happening all week long through those 12 hours. I met people and had moments with them that I would not have had if I had been sitting in my chair angry about the schedule. So what are we missing when we don't live in the now, like that video said? What are we missing? We think it's all just routine. We think it's all just stuff we have to do. We think it's all just obligation. We think it's all just the mundane. And perhaps it is if our minds are somewhere else. If we're not engaged and connected in the moment for whatever's there. I wouldn't have seen the A in the tree. I would not have heard my Father's voice. I've been saying to myself since that moment, I am mighty and deeply rooted. Message just for me. So can we slow down? Can we just choose the moment? I read a quote the other day that said, if we can stay in the moment, that's when we touch eternity. In the moment, in the singular moment. That's when we touch eternity, because that's when it appears that time slows down. All of a sudden, there is no time. All of a sudden, the other 11 hours of my day disappeared. I didn't think about it, and I didn't care. And every moment of those 12 hours, I got something. Every single moment. It was just uncanny. So in the now. So that means whether you're enjoying yourself or whether you're not. If things feel like they're falling apart or they're not. Whether you're feeling in the flow or you're not. Life seems untenable when we're trying to wrap our heads around the totality of it all. Yes, 12 hours seemed untenable and unbearable. I didn't want to do it. I really didn't. But a moment at a time I could. A minute at a time I could. A miracle at a time I could. So no matter what's before you, no matter what you've judged it to be, it can be a gift. And maybe that quote, that cliche, will go across the little ticker, the little message. You know how they go across the bottom of the screen? You'll be in that moment, and that message will go across. And you may think, like I did, yeah, no, it's a present, it's a gift. And yes, it's a present, it's a gift. It can be. And it is always, it's just that sometimes we miss it because we're tuned out. I think it's always a gift, just like God always is. Goodness always is. Life always is. Abundance always is. Unless we're not paying attention. You can feel the opposite while the goodness is there. And it always is. But we're not connected to the truth. We're not connected to the now. So I challenge you to live in the now. Always. Just like the song, our centering song. Here and now, that's all that matters. And it ends with forevermore. Those nows stack up into forever. Those nows stack up into the years and the decades that we live. And they can all be miracles if we're just willing to see it. And be there. Really, truly be there.